Hey Turtle Gang, my name is Turtle Monk, and today I am going to be reacting Yelan's character demo as a Genshin editor, and also with another fellow Genshin editor named Balance. He has edited for Rintaichou and is very well known into the scene in terms of the editing world. So yeah, take it away, Balance.
Hi, my name is Balance. I am a video editor, photography hobbyist, and a non-Genshin player. That's me.
Nice. Yeah, Balance doesn't play Genshin Impact, but he has this very interesting take about it. He has a very music video editing style, kind of like similar how I edit videos. Each of us are going to take it from our perspective of how well this video was edited in our own experience of editing, and we'll see how it goes. 3, 2, 1.
This is the best thing ever! Oh, never mind. Hold on.
Leaving the city? It's a real jungle out there.
God, she
They
gives
say
off
there's this
spy
group of guys
vibes.
now who always come out in
Yeah.
the rain, since it drowns out the cries for help and washes
Instead of
away
gives off,
any
like,
sign
a
of
very
a struggle.
specific noir feel.
Yeah.
That all sounds perfect.
You sure have nerves of steel, ma'am.
Damn.
Stop! Now hand over your goods!
Bandits! Help! Help!
What's the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just bandit thieves.
Been waiting long? I figured.
Damn,
Well,
from
the
behind?
waiting
Okay.
game is over.
Okay.
Good ass transition. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Dude, this reminds me of Size Palace for some. Oh shit!
Dude,
Dude!
she's running fast. She's
Gotcha.
running. She's Sanic. Oh, no
Yeah,
wonder
she
I
is
like her.
Sanic, bro.
Oh, don't look at me like that. That's me.
Okay, now she's giving off Triad vibes right here. Triad vibes. Bro!
Someone revealed my plans to you in advance, and you didn't think to run.
Why would I run?
What can I say? Much obliged.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, it's pretty.
It is interesting that she definitely has like this very poker casino vibe to her. Like it's very obvious they were going for that aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
I surrender! Please let me go! You'll never see me again!
Oh, so now you're afraid.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but this is too little, too late.
Bro.
No, wait! I know who gave you away! I'll tell you! No, I'll take you to them myself!
Smart decision. Get up. Chop chop. Let's go and pay your
Oh.
friend a little visit.
Nice.
Amazing.
Dude, that was so dope.
Man, so when I first saw her design, I'm not going to lie, it hit so many points, and I'm not one to often to have such hype for any character, especially for a game I don't play. But I have to admit, and I don't say this often in a very public forum, God, she's hot though. Holy cow.
Yes, right? Jesus.
It is interesting to how she does maintain a certain kind of... I think elegance would be the best way to
Yeah.
describe it. In the way that she moves so fluidly, which I suppose is kind of like... It works in tangent with the fact that she is supposed to be a Hydro character, right?
Yeah,
so
she
it
is a
must
Hydro
make sense
character.
that there is some fluidity behind her attacks.
Like her main powers is using like these strings, these hydro strings, and these pretty much kind of ties these units together when it terms of in gameplay, kind of like what you see here. But it's so interesting, and she kicks the bow here. Who does that? She kicks the bow.
I mean,
She kicks
we
an
already
arrow out of
have-
the bow.
We already have a huge cast of characters who does wonky attack
True.
animations. Like freaking Zhongli, he slams the spear into the ground and just kicks it to have it spin forward. Like
Yeah.
we already have that. I suppose it was just inevitable before someone like Yelan was going to just kick the bow of all of it.
But like look at this stuff like right here. Like the background and everything gives off Las Vegas vibes.
Yeah, I suppose if there was one criticism I would have is that it seems to almost be a little lore breaking because it seems so modern and with the imagery of dice being so prevalent. And what I've seen from everyone's stream and the videos that I've edited, there doesn't appear to be much of a casino-like area in the world of Genshin Impact.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Not at all. The only place that I would think of would be like in Inazuma, but like I don't see any like dice games in Inazuma, because like I know like in Yakuza like there's these dice games where you call odds and evens and stuff like that. For some reason those dices reminds me of that, but like I don't know any gambling Chinese games,
and they don't have any of those kind of gambling parlors or even anything that has that same aesthetic. I think the only thing that comes close, I think it's called the Jade Palace that Ningguang owns. That's the only building I can think of from my limited knowledge that has that sort of posh / high roller aesthetic. But it's still like lacking a lot of those bright lights that you see in a casino parlor.
The interesting thing about the Jade Palace is that it even though it has this very high quality vibe to it, it's not really casino-like in any form of representation. I think you're right on the whole dice thing, where in Liyue you don't see any like gambling parlors or anything like that in Liyue, you know? In terms of symbolization, it's very different. So maybe it has something to do with how she was brought up or something like that. But what is interesting is that her take is that she's like an FBI agent. Like if you listen to the background, it has like these saxophone kind of music, this kind of jazzy tone to it. And it's so fitting, especially since like there's Spy X Family happening and all this stuff. So it's so interesting that it's happening right in the season where there's an anime that's one of the best animes out there that's pretty much about spies and assassins. So Yelan kind of fits in this kind of pop culture era right now. So
I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, it is interesting. It almost seems to be perfectly timed, but there's no way they could have anticipated that happening. But if they did, then good on them.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. So let's go over to like the technical stuff. Like what was some technical stuff that you saw in this video that really stood out to you?
I was sort of thinking about how I would incorporate some of her attacks in the montage style editing that I do. Ironically enough, there's not too many attacks that she does that leaves much of a huge impact. And what I mean by that, so let's say for example, Claymore users are the easiest ones for me to work with because every swing that they do leaves like a noticeable hit, right? And those are easy to time in with the beats. But with all of her attacks right here, you know, those are like good fillers. Her E ability doesn't have that impact like some other people's ability, like Ningguang's E or Xingqiu's E. You know, it's like you have that impact because it's like a singular attack. But this one is more of a two-phase attack, right? Well, so it is really cool.
Yeah, because what happens is that when you activate her E skill, she goes invisible. And while she's invisible, she gains bonus movement speed. And while she's in her invisible form, whatever she touches gets strung up and gets chain linked to the next target she touches. And then what happens with all those targets that gets chain linked together, they leave an explosion.
I see. Okay, so then it would probably be right at the end of the activation. Yeah, probably right there.
Yeah, like right here.
Probably introduce the montage, but part of the fun of that particular ability is seeing them strung up. So I would probably have to really mess around with it to see how I could incorporate that into a montage if I did have to incorporate her into a montage.
Well, knowing Rin, since she's a Amber main and likes archers, she'll probably do something fancy with Yelan, that's for sure.
I know for a fact that Rin has been anticipating Yelan ever since her announcement, as well as like freaking everyone else in the community. I feel like
for a while now, since we've been in a drought. It's an understandable drought. I mean, yeah, China's been going through a lot right now, so since because of the COVID and lockdown and stuff like that.
But that was one thing that stood out to me. Well, how about yourself?
So what I like going back to the casino vibe. Like lights and auras and stuff like that, like right around here. When I see stuff like this, remember in Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royale, Tsai Nijima's palace? That's what it reminded me of. Like with all this lights and music and stuff like that was happening in the background. Like that's what it reminded me of. And like right here as well, like with her like design, it's a poker chip. It's a freaking backlight. You don't see this in any other character trailers. This freaking light, neon light shit over here. What? Excuse me? No.
Yeah, it's very flashy and it just
Very
makes her stand out that much more.
But what's also interesting is when it goes to scenes where she's right here. You see how like in the background, like there's these classic looking blinds. Like this is something you see in like detective movies or shows, like with this backlighting over here and like the dark shadows onto the sides over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely gives off like, or a triad mob boss kind of vibe.
If there's one thing that Hoyoverse has done really well in their trailers is that there is a certain level of smoothness to it, especially in between transitions, and the camera work is really well done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's look at stats for nerds. Oh, okay. So in terms of volume, it's 1.5 decibels. It's louder versus being on the point of 0.0. But that's okay. The closer it is to 0, the closer it means that it's in perfect volume, basically. If you're at -6 dB to 0 dB, you're pretty much clear in terms of volume. So they did a really good job in terms of audio. That's everything I wanted to talk about for Yelan in this video. What about you?
There's really not much else I would have to add except, oh my god, she's hot. I can't help it. Please, get me out of here. She's too hot. I don't want to emit this on public forums. God, get me out of here.
The only reason Balance would play Genshin. He's like, I just want to.
You don't see me right now, but I'm like shaking my mug as I'm drinking my tea.
Oh my god. Well, anyways, thank you, Balance, for being on this reaction video with me. I appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you for having me.
Where can they find you, Balance, if they wish to see more of your stuff or follow you?
It is very easy to follow me online. If you want to find anything of mine, all you have to do is search up IGFX Balance. So you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, almost any other social media under IGFX Balance.
And if you ever want to see more content of me, Turtle Monk, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to see more quality stuff here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
You guys better subscribe and comment. I will hunt you down if you don't.